This VTuber is one of the most realistic characters in all of Yakuza. Obviously, this video is going to include spoilers, so if you haven't played Infinite Wealth or these games that I'm going to put on the screen right now, then you probably don't want to watch this video. But if you don't care, then you're fine. Now, if you played Infinite Wealth, you might have thought, damn, this is stupid. Who the hell is going to believe Tatsura? And I can totally see why you would think that. In a game where you fight giant sharks twice, a giant squid, a cult leader, and use fully grown adult men as Pokemon, it might be kinda hard to suspend your disbelief. But if you just ignore all of these crazy things, then the story itself and Tatsura is sort of grounded and realistic. Anyway, I used to think the same way. Tatsura isn't realistic and there's no way anyone would believe her. And then I went online for 5 minutes. Misinformation is everywhere these days, and I feel like it stems from a lot of stuff. People don't want to do their own research, people don't think for themselves, the list goes on. Here's an example of blatant misinformation and lying in the Yakuza community itself. Real Yakuza approve Yakuza 3. I'm not doubting whether or not real Yakuza approve Yakuza. I'm sure that some of them might actually like the game. I'm talking about the story that everyone talks about in sources. This story that originates from boingboing.net. Written by a guy known for lying. Here's one example. Claims in his non-fiction book, Tokyo Vice, and in various interviews that his informant, a prostitute friend named Helena, was murdered due to his actions. He told the BBC that she had been tortured and killed. Aldenstein's assistant and another person identified Helena as Olivia Stelzer. When contacted in 2013, Stelzer, in several emails, confirmed that she helped Aldenstein's reporting in 2001, continued to live in Japan for 16 years, and that she wasn't murdered. She said Aldenstein continued to contact her, even as he told the public he felt guilty for her murder and lamented her loss. And back to the video. The article is written about the US release of Yakuza 3, even though it's interviewing Japanese Yakuza in Tokyo. The article also makes no mention of Yakuza 4, even though it was the most recently released game in Japan by the time the article was being written. And I feel like you would be way better reviewing Yakuza 4 with the real Yakuza, because there are 2 ex-Yakuza protagonists in that game, and it goes into way more stuff than the CIA and blah 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 blah. But whatever, man, I'm not a writer for fucking boingboing.net. The point is, the story is probably fake, but people aren't gonna do their own research on it, and they're still gonna spread it around. This time, it's harmless, but let's look at another example. This person accused this artist of using AI to create their artwork, rather than look at literally anything else on their profile. They said, yep, this piece is suspicious. This is AI. Now, you get people that want to hate on somebody, or people that want to hate on an AI artist. They're like, hey, that's AI? Maybe we should go hate on that guy. Misinformation might have caused this guy to get harassed and delete their account. They did end up deleting their account, but that was a planned thing, so. The accuser looked at a work in progress artwork and was like, yep, this is AI. Now you got people that just want to hate coming in. Do you even think they're gonna bother looking at one piece of art? No, they're gonna be like, fuck you. Let's look at another example. This person saw this beautiful art, and instead of doing their own research on it, they took the word of people replying to their tweet about it. Instead of looking at the Twitter handle of the artist, it doesn't even take half a second to find out what program this artist is using to create their artwork. But you would rather listen to what other people are saying than to look with your own eyes. What does this even have to do with Tatsura? Well, now you understand how powerful misinformation can be, and how people are just willing to not use their brains so they can listen to what another person has to say and just take that and run with it, which is kind of ironic. I talked about how those artists could have been harassed because of the misinformation against them, and that's basically what happens in the game to Ichiban. Tatsura takes advantage of this misinformation, and she feeds it to groups of haters. There are way too many haters to try and put into this definitive group. People can hate on something just because they want to. People can hate on something just because it's funny. For the sake of this video, I'll only be talking about 2 groups, which I think are very relevant to the game and the real world. But these are not definitive. These are not the only people that are doing this. There are people that only live to harass and to hate and put the blame on something. This is directly mentioned in Infinite Wealth. It's these guys. Another group of people are the people that hate on the group that is being targeted or the person that is being targeted, and you can see this in the game too. At the beginning of the game, Tatsura manipulates these 2 groups of people by spreading blatant misinformation about Ichiban, Sasaki, and Adachi because no one's gonna do anything about it. It's like the story of the real Yakuza approving Yakuza 3. It sounds cool, so I'm not gonna do any research on it. In this case, since Japanese people treat the Yakuza like they're demons, they're not gonna question it. It reinforces their beliefs, so why would they even do research on it? What happens to Ichiban is basically the exact same thing that happened to that artist who was falsely accused. You're accusing this person and connecting them to something that people already hate. Now people who live for harassment and who just want a punching bag come together with the people who hate that group or that person, and they combine and hate on that group or that person. If Ichiban was like killing everyone every night, I could kind of understand this behavior. But he's Ichiban. He's just trying to help his homies get a job, bro. Speaking of Ichiban, his whole life gets turned upside down, and the game rubs it in your face that this happens. In chapter 1, people are like, yo Ichiban, you are the GOAT. And then after he gets quote-unquote exposed by Tatsura, it's like, yo Ichiban, f*** you bro. Fuck the Yakuza, bro. I can't believe they were under our noses this whole time. Hey, f*** you Ichiban. This is another thing that Tatsura is trying to represent. Word of mouth. I made a video about Kiryu being a killer, and that meme about Kiryu not being a killer is spread because of word of mouth. I'm not writing down on the meme, I'm just saying that once enough people started to say the same thing over and over and over, it became true, to them at least. Think about Araki for Gods in the JoJo community. Once people start to say the same thing over and over and over, it just became true to them. Because of word of mouth. Once enough people started to say that there's a thing between Sue Storm and Namor, a lot of people started to believe it, even though people will only source the Ultimate books that aren't even the main universe, and she had to do this or Namor would have killed everyone, but no one knows that because no one reads these comics because they're so bad, except for this one. Once people started to think that Ichiban was an evil Yakuza, it just became true to them, because everyone started to say it, so they just all started to believe it. A lot of the time, these things that people just repeat over and over until they believe are sourced to nothing. Yakuza approved Yakuza 3? What's the source? This guy's an AI artist? What's the source? Oh, his art looked funny. Tatsura explaining that the Tojo clan is back? What's her source? This random truck driver. Oh, but don't worry, he has a video that has no sound. Upon editing this video, I've realized this is not a video. This is one image. It's one picture. It's not even multiple pictures. It's just one picture. Do you know how crazy this is? Especially considering how many AI pictures are out there. Look at this. This shit ain't even real, and people think it is. And Tatsura is like, yo, this truck driver, he is credible, guys. Trust me. And then Tatsura is like, you know who's gonna save us? Bleach Japan. Who's our source? These 2 ex-Yakuza. Just like the guy who blatantly ignored the word blender in a Twitter handle, all of these people, in the game universe at least, are ignoring all of these blatant details that someone is lying, is bad, or is suspicious, just because someone they like is saying, don't worry guys, they're on our side. Tatsura talks big about how Yakuza are bad and they're gonna fucking kill everyone, and ooh, Ichiban Kasuga, bad Yakuza. Kiryu Kazuma, bad Yakuza. But don't worry guys, we got some good Yakuza on our side. And they're only supporting this group called Bleach Japan. You know, Bleach Japan, as in clean Japan of all this dirty stuff. You know, the group that had one of its leaders stab the Tokyo governor. Now they're being supported by the Yakuza? Isn't that kind of suspicious? So what? You combine all of this together, the misinformation, people wanting to hate, people reinforcing their own beliefs, people being dumbasses and not thinking for themselves, and blatant lying. Put that all together, and you get YouTube drama channels. Now you might be thinking, Supple, you've just restated what the game already told me. I already knew that she was supposed to be a YouTube drama channel. And you are 100% right. But that's the point. The game doesn't really dive that deep into Tatara, even though it uses her to represent drama channels. Some people will finish playing Infinite Wealth and not really buy the fact that people will believe Tatara's lies. That's why I've spent the last 10 minutes talking about stupid shit that happens online and in real life and comparing it to Tatara. Tatara is RGG's way of criticizing social media and drama channels and how much influence and power they have over what people are thinking. But because they never really go that deep into her, it's kinda hard for people to see this without doing research themselves. But even though they don't really go into her, the intention behind Tatara is very clear. They didn't make her a drama channel just so they could have a character that is a drama channel. They always have a reason. It's the same reason why Haruka gets asked if she would ever sleep with a middle-aged man in Yakuza 5. It's the same reason why RGG focuses so much on homelessness. They're trying to say, hey, we got some problems guys, and some industries are kinda shit. Something I forgot to mention relates back to those two groups of people that want to hate. Do you think these people are coming back to the drama channels because they really like the creator behind it? Or do you think they're coming back because the creator provides them a safe space to be openly negative and hateful? If someone made a YouTube channel dedicated to hating on Kiryu, do you think people are going to keep coming back because they want to see more of the creator behind it, or because they want to see more hate for Kiryu? And now that this channel has been created that hates Kiryu, people can come to the comments and be like, you know what? I always hated Kiryu too. That's what these drama channels are really providing for a lot of people. A place where they can just go and spew whatever negative thoughts they have. And when you have a lot of these viewers return over and over and over, it just creates a whole black hole of negativity that never stops growing. One little rumor and everything could be gone because of word of mouth, because people don't want to do the research, because it's easy to pick on someone doing something that people don't like, even if they're innocent. With Tatara, RGG is criticizing all of this stuff. They're saying, hey guys, maybe this stuff might be a little bad. Maybe there's a little bit of a mob mentality behind it. But really, if RGG's intention is to criticize drama channels and their fans, why make Tatara a VTuber? Besides the fact that they are popular, it gives a reason for people to come back to her channel beyond having a space to hate. Not only that, some fans might develop a relationship with Tatara that is entirely designating a relationship characterized by the one-sided, unreciprocated sense of intimacy felt by a viewer, fan, or follower for a well-known or prominent figure, typically a media celebrity in which the follower or fan comes to feel, falsely, that they know the celebrity as a friend. That's the Oxford Dictionary definition for the word parasocial. And I think it's why RGG made Tatara a VTuber in the first place, even though the game doesn't really go that in-depth into her. Some people really want to connect with their favorite VTubers, and that's why whenever you look up a VTuber, some of the more popular results always have something to do with their face or their appearance. Because when you can assign a face to something, you're going to be able to connect with it more, right? Other fans aren't like this. Instead of this kind of behavior, they have some other kind of behavior. Some people agree with everything their favorite VTuber says because it helps them connect with them more. Some people really think it's gonna build favor for them. But I'm not saying everyone is like this. What does this even have to do with Tatara? Well, when you got people trying to befriend a 2D anime girl, do you really think people are gonna disagree with her? Or they're just gonna keep agreeing with her to connect with her more? Think people are gonna be like, screw Tatara, I hate her! If they gave her money? Probably not. Once someone forms a parasocial relationship, their perception of reality just becomes so warped. They'll see the person that they like as good and all of these people as bad. Everything involving the creator, they're gonna see it from the creator's point of view. That's a stan. That's what stans are. They have a parasocial relationship with someone that doesn't even know they exist. If the creator does something bad, the person's gonna view it as a betrayal of their trust. Like when an idol has a secret boyfriend. Or when a VTuber plays League of Legends. But in the context of Tatsura, people with this kind of relationship with her are just gonna go with everything she says because they think that she is their friend. Because they think that everything that involves Tatsura involves them too. Imagine if your friend got into a fight and he started telling you the story of how it happened. You're probably gonna believe him over the guy who beat his ass, right? Tatsura being a VTuber is also connected to something called the halo effect fallacy, which is defined as the fallacy of concluding from a perceived single positive trait of a person to the conclusion of a generally positive assessment of that person. Here's an example. You see an attractive person. Typically, you're going to think that that person is a good person because they are attractive. Or maybe you see a short person. Typically, you're going to think that person is going to be sweet because they're so short. Tatsura is a 2D anime girl. This is going to apply to her too, because when you see a 2D anime girl, you're not going to be thinking about exposing the Yakuza or exposing these weird business trades or anything like that. You're going to be thinking about this shit. You can even see it in a lot of things nowadays. Warner Brothers thinks that no one wants to watch their shows, so they say, this is an anime. Why? Anime has gotten really popular in recent years, so when people hear anime, they're gonna think, you know what, it might be good. Or you can even look at characters like Makima. She got a big booty. Her actions are totally justified now. Now you got Tatsura. Not only is she a drama channel, she's also a VTuber that just does regular streams. So it's like, hey, how could Tatsura be wrong about Kiryu Kazuma and the Yakuza when I've chatted with her when we played Minecraft? How could Tatsura be wrong about Kiryu Kazuma and the Yakuza if she sang a cool song, or she looks like this, or she sounds like this, or she has a 3D model that looks like this? You combine this with being parasocial and it gives a really weird degree of trust and reliability. I guess the simple way to put it is, you wouldn't expect Tatsune Miku to kill anyone, would you?
てめえらがこれ作ったのか。知らねえのか。タタラチャンネルだよ。俺らから見りゃ神だ神。登録者数は500万。あんたタタラチャンネルに取り上げられるなんてすげえよ春日さん。ふざけんな。全部デタラメじゃねえか。デタラメって。いやいや、バッチリ証拠映像撮られちゃってんじゃん。そうか。なるほど。急にハローはクビにされたのもこいつのせいか。んなことより俺たちが撮った動画本当に買い取らねえんだな。買うわけねえだろ。
While she's not fully explored by Infinite Wealth, Tatsura is a very real representation of drama channels and all of the ideas that kind of revolve around them. Whether it be blatantly lying, whether it be catering to people who only want to hate, whether it be twisting the truth to create a really weird and biased view of events that didn't happen at all, whether it be picking and choosing information to create a very biased view of events that didn't happen at all, whether it be going over the top and exaggerating little details to make something seem worse than what actually happened, whether it be having really bad sources. The list goes on and on and on. Tatsura not only represents these things, but she's also a VTuber that just streams with people and talks with them. And sometimes people can find her harder to hate because she looks like this and sounds like this. Most importantly, Tatsura is RGG's way of criticizing drama channels and showing how manipulative they are and how easily people would just tend to believe them. She's written with the purpose of not just calling attention to drama channels, but specifically Japanese drama channels. Yakuza 6 kinda does the same thing, but it's not executed as well. We're not gonna talk about that. And I'm not gonna pretend I know what it's like to have this social media presence on you, like people have it in Japan. But I do have a few examples. This VTuber went to a drama channel and got terminated because of it. Why? I don't know, I guess they just have pull like that. A corpo VTuber went to a YouTube drama channel to clear up rumors, and it got her fired. I'm not here to say who's right or who's wrong in this situation. I'm just pointing out the fact that this VTuber went and violated her company NDA and leaked internal information to this drama YouTuber because of some rumors that she was dating somebody. It just goes to show how much people care about rumors and social media spreading things around. It can be a force that just blows up everything in its way. When you have rumors of drug use ruining careers, or rumors of having a partner ruining careers, or any of these tiny things that people do just exploding their entire career, you start to realize that Tatara isn't just this. Tatara is everything.
なんて考えてね。でも現実には事務所には見放されて、コンサートどころか仕事はどんどん減っていったわ。後にはもう何も残らなかった。自分がもう子供を産めない体だと知ったのも全てを失ってからだったわ。